Thank you. Thank you. All right. Good morning. Is everybody here? Okay, great. Good morning and welcome to Cabot. Great to see everyone and great to be here today for what I believe is a really important announcement. I want to acknowledge and thank Massachusetts Department of Transportation Secretary Gina Fiandaca, our MBTA General Manager Phillip, President Jimmy Evers of Local 589, the Boston Carmen's Union, Shop Steward Alex Gaston, and other members of 589 who are here this morning, as well as others who've come out for today's event. So here's what today is about. Today we are announcing a new 4-year tentative contract agreement between the MBTA and the Carmen's Union. This represents nearly half of the T's total workforce and a majority of frontline workers. So we're talking about bus drivers, trolley and train drivers, rail repair and track maintenance workers, and other critical positions. The contract that we're announcing today, it has yet to be ratified, and we are expecting and hopeful that we'll see that come tomorrow or Thursday. But the contract will cover, again, nearly half the T's workforce, and importantly, the frontline workers who are out there doing the repairs, doing the maintenance, driving the buses, and operating the trolleys and trains. This will be taken up tomorrow by the MBTA board for a vote, and it marks a significant step forward in labor relations and a strong partnership with this administration. Fundamentally, for riders and potential riders of the T, this agreement is an investment in a safe, reliable public transit system in Massachusetts. It's an investment in the world-class transit we need for our economy, our quality of life, and our environment. That's because everything that we want to do with the MBTA depends on a strong and growing workforce, especially right now in this tight labor market. T jobs need to be great, desirable, in order to attract, support, and keep the workers we need to get the job done. That's why our administration has made growing the MBTA workforce a priority. Already, we've achieved significant success in increasing hiring at the T compared to recent years. This agreement will help ensure that growth and will help ensure that that growth will continue at a pace we need it to. And it will also help us keep more of our current employees from leaving, from retiring early. Here's what it does. This contract will provide a significant wage increase that totals 18% over 4 years. This is the largest pay increase for T workers since the 1990s. Importantly, it codifies and it builds on a number of attraction and retention measures that we've already begun to put in place. That includes full-time work, better pay progressions for new hires, sign-on bonuses for new workers, retention and longevity incentives for existing workers. It also expands benefits, adding 10 days of paid parental leave, bereavement leave for domestic partners, and dental and vision coverage for part-time workers. These are opportunities that current T workers deserve, and they will help us bring more workers in to the workforce to meet the needs of our system now and going forward. So today's a big moment for the MBTA and its future. And it's not something that happens without a focus on system-wide improvement, strong labor management relations, and a lot of hard work on all sides. I want to thank the leaders of the negotiating teams at the MBTA and 589 who worked very hard to get us to this moment. And I want to thank all the T employees who are out there, here and out there now, operating buses, trains, and trolleys, working really hard to make this system run. It's not been an easy time for transit workers. They were essential frontline workers during the pandemic. They've borne the burden of severe labor shortages coming out of the pandemic. And they're often on the receiving end of a lot of rider dissatisfaction. They deserve fair wages. They deserve safe and supportive working conditions. They deserve to be joined by more team members who can help make the system everything we want it to be. Again, I want to thank General Manager Eng and his team, and I want to thank the leadership of 589, the men and women in the Carmen's Union who are represented here today. And with that, I'd like to turn it over to Carmen's Union President Jim Evers.
Thank you, Governor. Good morning. Welcome, everyone, to Cabot Bus Garage. My name's Jim Evers, and I have the privilege of serving as president of the Boston Commons Union, Local 589. It brings me great joy to represent over 6,000 dedicated MBTA transit professionals here in Massachusetts. First and foremost, let me extend our heartfelt thank you to our friend, Governor Healey, and Lieutenant Governor Driscoll for recognizing, thank you very much, for recognizing the importance of public transportation and its workforce in our great state. Your unwavering support and commitment to ensuring the success of our transit system has not gone unnoticed. Your leadership has been instrumental in fostering a positive environment for these negotiations and the eventual achievement of this successful new contract. We also want to extend our gratitude to the new MBTA administrators, as well as the folks we've worked with over the years that understand the workforce and the importance of morale and mutual respect. Mara has constructed a dream team for us to work with, and it's made a huge impact for labor and management alike. I would like to give a special thanks to the Secretary of Transportation, Gina Fiandaca, for her guidance through these negotiations as well. There's also one person that Governor Healey put her faith in, and we believe it has made all the difference in the world. General Manager Phillip. He's brought his vision and experience along with him. New York is a testament to his success, and he's brought that here to Boston. And let me tell you, it's been top-notch, to say the least. Mara and Phil have put together a plan, and the major part of this plan was to put stock back into the workforce, our labor. There's a feeling of respect from these offices, and it trickles down to the frontline workers, and it's been working tremendously. I can attest that working at the MBTA is a great career path to the middle class that gives its employees dignity and respect and generous benefits that are by far some of the best in the state, or in fact the country. The new contract is a game changer for our public transit system. It's designed to attract top talent, prioritize safety, and ensure that our services remain accessible to all. Not only does this contract memorialize a range of recruitment incentives, including sign-in bonuses, but it has targeted increases aimed at hard-to-fill positions such as bus drivers, train operators, along with maintenance and folks that are working overnight shifts. We know recruitment alone is not enough. That's why we are equally focused on retaining our workforce, and I'm proud to say this contract does exactly that. The 4-year agreement includes wage increases and longevity bonuses that will help us retain our workers. But it's not just about wages. The agreement also deals with long-standing issues for our workforce, including improving employee restroom access, expanding bereavement leave to include domestic partners, and clarifying language pertaining to assaults on our drivers. Let me say the MBTA is a world-class transit agency. It just needs to be reminded that it is. Mara, her team, the riders, and labor working together will achieve this goal. Please forgive me in advance, Governor, using a basketball analogy, but I think it's fitting. You were given a major challenge to overcome. So you assembled a team with star players, built a playbook that involved everyone on the bench, which showed your true leadership. So we have the playbook, the team, the coach, which gives us the ability to win. This won't be an overnight success, but we have the winning formula. On behalf of the Boston Commons Union, we are honored to be on your team. Thank you very much.
At this time, I'd like to invite up our General Manager, Phillip.
Good morning, everyone. What a great day to be here in our Cabot Yard Maintenance Facility. I think the governor and Jim Evers have said so much of everything so eloquently. I don't want to repeat a lot of that. What I would like to say is that in my 3+ months here now, I've seen the dedicated efforts, the hard work that all of our workforce are doing across the system. And this contract demonstrates just how much we value them, and that's important for them to know. It's like trying to do something with one hand tied behind your back. Now, as we continue to build the resources and give them the ability to do their jobs well, they will have more time in their day. They will have more time to be able to build their career as well. And that's another key part to retention. The hiring is a big thing. These positions that we are now fulfilling with better rates of pay are important because those pay scales now put us comparable to the industry that we are competing against. And that is very important. When you're asking these folks to do the hard work they do, and there's much better, easier jobs outside with higher pay, it's challenging. Even with that, though, we are growing our numbers. So we will do better from this point on. And then lastly, about retention, it's about morale. It's about letting people know they have a career path here. All of the contract components really did take a look at some of the areas that we've heard from our employees, some of the areas we've heard from potential new hires, and what we're building into it is all the different components to tackle these different challenges one by one. And with that, we will continue to rebuild the workforce, and that will enable us to rebuild the T. And at the end of the day, we're here to serve the public, and we want them to know safety, reliability is all about that. Robust, frequent train service, bus service, the ride, ferry, water service, commuter rail, you name it, we're here to do it. And I wanted to say thank you very much for the support of Governor Healey and her administration, the leadership of Secretary Fiandaca, and the partnership we have with 589, the Boston Carmen Union, as well as our other unions. It is a tremendous time to be here, and I'm really excited about what lies ahead. Thank you very much.
Next, I'd like to bring up our bond captain, also known as a shop steward, Alex Gaston. He's the shop steward here at the Cabot Bus Garage, which is our largest bus garage. He's an up-and-coming great guy. He's a perfect example of why these MBTA jobs are very important to our public and us as well. So please, Alex Gaston.
Thank you very much. Good morning, all. My name is Alex Gaston. I'm a bus operator at Cabot Bus Yard. I'm also a shop steward for 589. We know the people of Massachusetts count on safe and reliable transportation, and that's something we take very seriously. Governor Healey said transportation is a key block and a building block for economic mobility in Massachusetts. We couldn't agree more. Our public transit system keep community connected and provide access to education, healthcare, job opportunity, and essential service to millions of Bay Staters. It's truly the backbone of our state growth and prosperity. Over the years, transportation workers have faced challenges, sometimes feel overlooked in their contribution to society. But thanks to the new administration, it's evident that times are changing. Our work is being acknowledged for the vital role it plays in the overall well-being of the state. This new contract is monumental in recognition and recognizing those efforts, and it will mean that we can hire more workers and operators to meet the needs of the MBTA and definitely the public. I have to say, I've been a bus operator for 19 plus years, and I know a few of my coworkers have been here for a lot longer. And collectively, we haven't seen any contract close to this one. I'm also aware that that's all because of Governor Healey, and it's refreshing to have someone in charge that is behind their words. That when they say something, they really mean it. I want to take this moment to extend my heartfelt gratitude to Governor Healey for staying true to her words and for recognizing the importance of investing in transportation and to the workers. And I would also like to thank Boston Commons Union 589 board members for all they have done. 589 strong, baby. All set.
Thanks, Alex. I just said to him, now you got to go recruit more workers. That's what today is about. And I really want to give huge thanks to 589, Jim Evers, and the leadership team. And I want to give huge credit to Phil Ang, who's come in from New York and has hit the ground running. And today is really an example of that. He recognized day one that we cannot have the T and the public transit system we need unless we have the workforce. And that's what today is about. That's why we've done something that hasn't been done since the 1990s, because, you know, unless you pay people, unless you give them benefits, unless you give them support, they're not going to come work for you. And if they're not going to come work for you, then we're not going to have the public transit system that we need. So no thanks to me. This is all about an economic imperative for our state. We've talked about how integral you guys are to moving our state forward. Not just Boston and Greater Boston, the entire state, you know, depends on the work that you guys are doing day in and day out. These are valuable jobs. Those of you who are thinking about retiring early, I don't want to hear that. You got a good package now. We want you to stay the course, stay in the lineup, okay? Stay in the game. And I got a commitment from Alex. I want commitments from all of you. You got to go out and sell this, right? Sell this career opportunity. Because today you see a demonstration that we'll have your back. We'll have your back, and we'll be looking to improve working conditions as you improve the safe and effective operation of our public transit system. So call up your friends, call up your people you know, and tell them exactly why this is a great career path and opportunity. And again, I want to thank all who worked hard today to make it happen. Happy to take a few questions.
Well, where will the money come to fund this contract? How much do you estimate it will cost? And can the T's fare system support it? Or if fares have to go up and appropriate money from somewhere else? Just explain that whole.
Sure. Well, I'm going to invite our coach and our coach and point guard up to tackle some of those questions, Mike, Phil Ang. But look, we agreed to this because it's the right thing to do. We can cover the cost of it, and there's no other course. We have to do this because we need this workforce, and we need to grow this workforce in order to be able to deliver as quickly as possible a public transit system that we haven't seen in a long, long time, one that is safe and effective and reliable and just humming. And these guys want it, we want it, and this is absolutely essential to making that so.
Thank you, Governor. We'll get you specifics with the cost. I will say this. This whole package was vetted through our Chief Administrative Officer, our Chief Financial Officer. We understand the cost of doing business. We also know that we need to invest in order to have a successful, robust transportation system. And the cost-saving measures that we had in the past, I don't know, the different the disinvestment that's gone on has gotten us to the point where we need to reinvest in what our workforce is doing. You have to invest now. You will save money later by having better, robust service. That's the way we get ridership back. All of that has been taken into account in the analysis of this contract. But we'll get you that specifics after this.
Neither one of you addressed the question specifically. I guess we would assume that fares will be going up and perhaps.
No, I don't think we need to assume. Right now we are looking at fare structures. We're looking at mean tested fares as well. A whole number of initiatives that the governor has put into the budget to support looking at how we make not only a safer, reliable, robust transportation system, but how do we keep it affordable for our riders and the public. That is all being ongoing in parallel to this.
When do you expect you'll know that?
Well, you know, there's a lot of discussion what's going on right now as far as how we deliver necessary services. We are continuing to build out our transportation system. We obviously need to reinvest in state of good repair. Obviously, everyone knows about the track conditions. We're working hard to address that. We have a new chief of stations. We will be addressing station conditions, ongoing rail car procurements. All of these things we have in the program. The new CIP that was approved by the board just this last board meeting is going to help us take a look at how we continue to build out those capital projects, continue to fund the jobs that we need. And as we're building the team back and as we're building the system, that'll help us set the priorities for different needs because that is all part of making sure we have a safe, reliable system.
How long can you do that? To what extent without additional financing?
You know, the discussions are ongoing right now with A&F, internally reviewing our needs. We will have that information, but the idea is to make sure that we are tackling the needs of today. We're certainly confident that the funding will be in place. The legislature has given us $181 million, I believe, in this proposed budget that we're looking forward to taking advantage of and helping further our needs. Well, that's going to tie to this component right now. The hiring that's been going on is greater than we've seen in the last 8 years, I believe. We will have the most hiring by the end of the year. Without this contract, we're on pace to bring on, I think it was averaging, expected about 1,300 new employees this year. We continued at this pace. This new contract with 5 months to go, we hope to change those numbers. As we see the bus operators grow, and every Monday I get to welcome a new class coming in, so that is good to offset the attrition that's happening. This will help us further. The team is already looking at new schedules and anticipating hires. When we have that ready, we'll share that, Taylor.
How many hires to this point from the start of the year? I know last month's report went all the way up to, I think, June or July. Do you have an updated number in that?
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. And also, why is the MBTA so behind on its hiring goals?
Well, we're not behind on hiring. We have hired almost 800 new employees to date. Right? That doesn't count the over 300 promotions that we've made internally. One of the key components of this contract is the entry level, the new hires, because those are the feeder pools for us to be able to promote into the other positions that we need. Middle level managers, supervisors, all of that is important to being able to run safe operations. So that 800 number represents hiring that we've not done in our history. So right there with the governor and her administration pushing us to change things differently, not only have we got the word out that we're hiring, making the terms of being a T employee better, but we're changing our processes too. That is something else that we can't forget. Right now, some of the things we've heard, it takes too long to be hired, it takes too long to go through the process. Those things are ongoing as we speak. The fact that we have 800 new employees in the T is amazing given that we are facing attrition. The contract has incentives for stay and longevity, contract for retention. All of that will also stave off the other end. And we are seeing retirees come back as well. So I think the idea is that we're tackling every single one of these things that we have seen and heard from our employees and new hires that have been challenges for them, and we're building into this contract because this is the future. The workforce that's behind us and around us and out in the system, as the governor said, we don't have service without them. They're our most valuable asset and resource, and I'm glad they're part of the T family.
Well, I think one thing is important at the outset, and I appreciate Phil's comments about hiring, because I said in January we were going to hire more team workers, and we made that a priority, hiring workers for the T. And I appreciate what has been an exponential increase in hires for the T. We haven't seen that in a long time, if ever. And today, the T also is working on retention. Retention is very important. As Jimmy said, what's in this contract is going to help fight some of that attrition and deal with the retention. So with regard to what's there for financing, I also said at the outset that we were going to make sure that any revenue from the surtax was going to be divided according to the voters' wishes, which is for education and transportation. Legislature agrees. So there is that, and how that gets used is yet to be determined. But we certainly know, I know, and I want these guys to know the importance of investing not only in infrastructure, but infrastructure when it comes to workforce. These things go together, and so we look forward to more on that. Well, as you know, I've got a few days, the team and I, to review this. Look, what's there's a lot of great things to work with, a lot of important investments, a lot of things that I cared about, investments in education, early education, our Mass Reconnect program to help workforce needs, housing, climate. There's a lot of really important investments there. We'll work that through over the course of the next week. And then I'm anxious to work on a tax package, both to make our state more competitive and less of an outlier. We want to be attracting people to our great state, and also to make life more affordable for our residents. So that tax package is really important and something that I'm anxious to get to work on. Thank you. No, not at all. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it.